Hey, how's it going, people? Brown Brady here. Happy holidays, and thank you for tuning into my channel. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how I installed a battery tender lead on my Honda CBR250R motorcycle. But first, a question from Krawiki Racing. He writes, 2 years and now you're here. What took you so long? Good question. And if you're a long-time subscriber, you're probably wondering what happened to me. Squid Rider writes, I hope you're still alive, bro. From Lori Base, when are you going to upload more videos? And from DMV Writer, just wondering what happened to your videos. And when I came back, I was grateful for receiving all the welcome back messages. ME writes, was worried about you, welcome back. And from Squid Rider, it's been 2 years, welcome back. And from Planet Matt, Brown Brady, you are alive. Well, a lot happened since my last video from 2 years ago. After the riding season, I started a massive bathroom renovation over the holidays, and that took me away from making any new videos. Shortly after that, I quit smoking, and one way that helped me quit was to avoid doing things I associated with smoking. Unfortunately, making videos was one of those activities. Then I went back to work full-time, and a lot of my friends often wondered how I found the time to make these videos. And it was because I wasn't working full-time back then. A few weeks after that, I went back to school part-time. At first, I took 2 courses per semester, but I found this to be too much for me. So between work, school, home renos, work, school, home renos, I hardly had any time left to make any videos. And while I could have just strapped on a GoPro and rode around rambling on my microphone, I didn't do this because I sucked at it. I was pleasantly surprised to see that I still had quite a following on my channel, so during the summer, I made arrangements to my schedule so that I could commit to making videos again. They aren't as frequent as in the past, but at least I'm back. So again, thank you for your question, and now on to this episode about tendering motorcycle batteries. When the bike is running, it usually takes about 15 minutes for the alternator to fully charge the battery and keeps it topped up. But in the last episode, I took my final ride of the season, so that means this bike isn't going anywhere for several weeks. And a battery that doesn't receive a charge for an extended period of time will have its charging capacity reduced through a process called sulfation. A battery tender is a trickle charger that keeps the battery topped up while the battery is in storage. This here is my car, which has a battery on its last legs. I've been keeping it alive by having it on a battery tender until I can buy a replacement battery for it. And hopefully one goes on sale on Boxing Day. I wanted to show you how a battery tender is connected to my car first. And there are 2 ways to connect the battery tender to the battery. The first one is by using these alligator clips, which can be used if you want to temporarily tender the battery. You just use them like jumper cables and clip the negative clip to the negative terminal and the positive clip to the positive terminal. The disadvantage of this method is that you would have to open the hood each time you want to keep it on the tender. The other method is by using these terminal leads that the battery tender came with. You connect this end to the battery terminal and then fish the extension cable to where it can be easily accessed without opening the hood. And then you can connect it to the battery tender by the quick connect adapters like so. And this terminal lead is what I will be installing on the motorcycle today. To get to the battery, the rear passenger seat needs to be removed first. Then remove these 2 bolts. As a word of precaution, lead is poisonous to humans, and so is sulfuric acid. Don't smoke around batteries and wear eye protection if you will be servicing it. This is a good time to inspect the battery for any physical damage. Look for broken terminals, bulges in the case, cracks in the plastic, leaks, and discoloration. Clean the battery if it is covered in dirt or dust. Phantom drain can arise from electronics on the bike and surface dirt. If you have a multimeter, check the voltage after it has been fully charged. If the voltage reading is 12.4 volts or less, then the battery is likely dead. You can have a shop load test a battery for you, or you can do it yourself by checking the voltage reading while pushing the start button. If the voltage reading is between 9.5 and 10.5 volts, then it's in good condition. Also, check that the vent hose is properly connected. If I were to use the alligator clips to tender the battery, I would have to remove the main seat each time. Using these terminal leads will allow me to extend the terminal connector to anywhere on the bike. In my installation, I will place the adapter end inside the passenger seat, which is a whole lot easier to remove and keeps the adapter protected from the elements. To install the terminal lead, these eye hooks need to get sandwiched between the terminal connector and nut. I'm going to place the adapter end of the terminal lead so that it is inside the passenger seat compartment, but you can put it anywhere you like. Just make sure it stays away from any moving part like the chain or hot surfaces like the exhaust header. Use zip ties to secure excess length to the bike. Then I can remove the alligator clips from the quick connect adapter and connect the battery tender to the terminal lead on the bike. Now I can easily use the battery tender on both my motorcycle and my car just in time for winter. There are inexpensive battery tenders out there that have auto shut-off features, but they're not suitable for keeping the battery topped up because they don't restart. You will need to pair these with a light timer that can turn on and off automatically. But for a little bit more, you could get a smart battery like this one. This will automatically stop charging when the battery is fully charged, and when the battery's charge drops, begin recharging again. This process of keeping the battery topped up is also called float mode. This is the one I use and is apparently a very popular model, and I bought it used, by the way. It has 750 milliamps of charging and can be used for a motorcycle, car, or boat battery. One disadvantage of using a battery tender is that it can become a fire hazard if it were to malfunction. It's also a fire risk if you happen to have a gas leak nearby, and this has happened to me before. My CB450 developed a gas leak over the winter while it was connected to the battery tender. Luckily, nothing happened. Another way to maintain the battery is to use a quick disconnect battery terminal, which allows you to disconnect the battery without tools or to completely disconnect it and store it indoors off the bike. Which leads me to my question. How do you store your motorcycle battery? Do you keep it on a battery tender? Do you disconnect it, or do you take it off the bike? And that concludes this episode, which also happens to be the last one of 2017. So if you like this video, please hit that like button or share this video. And to all of my subscribers, thank you for your support. It has been a blast getting to 6,000 subscribers. And if you aren't a subscriber yet, thank you for having me today. I would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video in 2018. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, and as always, ride safe, and thanks for watching.
You look like a bobblehead.